Picture this. You wake up every morning with unwavering purpose. Challenges that once knocked you down now bounce off you like water off stone. Temptations that used to derail your progress no longer hold any power over you. You move through life with the kind of discipline that seems almost superhuman to others. This isn't fantasy. This is what happens when you train your mind using ancient wisdom that has withstood the test of time. For over 2,000 years, the Stoics built mental fortresses that nothing could shake. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while facing plague and war. Epictetus transformed from slave to teacher, unbroken by circumstances that would crush most people. Seneca navigated the treacherous waters of Roman politics while maintaining his principles. What did they know that we've forgotten? How did they develop discipline so unbreakable that it became legendary? Today, I'm going to reveal 10 Stoic exercises that will transform your relationship with discipline forever. These aren't just philosophical concepts to think about. They're practical tools that you can use starting today to build mental strength that nothing can penetrate. By the end of this journey, you'll understand why the most successful people throughout history have turned to these ancient practices. You'll discover how to train your mind like a warrior trains his body, developing discipline that becomes automatic, effortless, and absolutely unshakable. But here's what makes this different from every other self-help approach you've tried. These exercises don't rely on willpower. They don't depend on motivation. Instead, they rewire how you think about challenges, setbacks, and the very nature of control itself. When you master these 10 practices, discipline stops being something you have to force and becomes something you simply are. The first exercise is the morning reflection. And it's deceptively simple yet profoundly powerful. Every single morning, before you check your phone, before you scroll through social media, before you let the chaos of the world into your mind, you ask yourself one question: what can I control today? The Stoics understood something that modern society has forgotten. Most of our mental energy gets wasted on things completely outside our influence. We stress about the weather, other people's opinions, traffic, the economy, politics. All of this mental noise weakens our ability to focus on what actually matters. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his personal journal, which we now call Meditations, that he would remind himself each morning about the distinction between what's up to him and what isn't. This wasn't just philosophical pondering. This was mental training. When you start your day by clearly identifying what you can and cannot control, you direct all your energy toward what's actually within your power. Your actions, your responses, your choices, your effort. Everything else becomes background noise. Here's how to practice this. Set your alarm 5 minutes earlier than usual. When you wake up, before your feet hit the floor, ask yourself what you can control today. Maybe it's how you respond to a difficult coworker. Maybe it's whether you stick to your workout routine. Maybe it's the quality of work you produce. Write down 3 specific things that are genuinely within your control. Then ask yourself what you cannot control today. Traffic, other people's moods, unexpected problems, the results of your efforts. Acknowledge these things exist, but refuse to waste mental energy on them. This simple practice creates what the Stoics called the discipline of desire. Instead of wanting things to be different than they are, You focus entirely on making the most of what's actually in front of you. When you do this consistently, something remarkable happens. Your mind stops fighting reality and starts working with it. This is where true discipline begins. The second exercise is called voluntary discomfort, and it's where most people think the Stoics were crazy. But this practice is actually genius. Once a week, deliberately choose to be uncomfortable. Take a cold shower when you could take a warm one. Walk when you could drive. Skip a meal when you're not actually hungry. Sleep on the floor instead of your comfortable bed. The goal isn't to punish yourself. It's to train your mind to handle discomfort without breaking. Think about it this way. Every time you avoid discomfort, you make yourself weaker. Every time you choose the easy path when the hard path would serve you better, you're training yourself to quit when things get difficult. But when you voluntarily embrace discomfort, you're doing the opposite. You're proving to yourself that you can handle anything life throws at you. Seneca practiced this regularly. He would sometimes live like a poor person for several days, eating simple food and wearing basic clothes. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to prove that his happiness didn't depend on luxury. He wanted to know that if he lost everything tomorrow, he would still be okay. This knowledge made him fearless. When you practice voluntary discomfort, you're building what I call discomfort immunity. You're training your nervous system to stay calm under pressure. You're proving that your well-being doesn't depend on everything being perfect. This is essential for unbreakable discipline because discipline always involves doing what's right instead of what's easy. Start small with this practice. Take cold showers for a week. Walk upstairs instead of taking elevators. Eat simple meals without entertainment. The specific discomfort doesn't matter as much as the practice of choosing difficulty when you could choose ease. What matters is training your mind to see discomfort as a friend rather than an enemy. The third exercise is evening review, and it's the bookend to your morning reflection. Every night before you sleep, you examine your day with complete honesty. Not to judge yourself harshly, but to learn and improve. You ask 3 questions. What did I do well today? What could I have done better? What did I learn about myself? This practice was central to the Stoic way of life. They believed that an unexamined life leads to repeated mistakes and missed opportunities for growth. But an examined life, reviewed honestly each evening, leads to continuous improvement and stronger character. The evening review helps you identify patterns in your behavior, recognize your triggers, and celebrate your progress. The key is to approach this review like a scientist studying data, not like a judge passing sentence. When you notice that you reacted poorly to stress, you don't beat yourself up. You ask why it happened and how you can respond differently next time. When you see that you followed through on your commitments despite feeling tired, you acknowledge that strength and figure out how to access it more consistently. This exercise builds self-awareness, which is the foundation of all discipline. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. You can't improve what you don't measure. The evening review gives you clear data about your character, your choices, and your growth. Over time, this awareness becomes automatic, helping you make better decisions in real time. The fourth exercise might be the most challenging one for people living in our modern world. It's called digital stoicism, and it involves creating deliberate boundaries with technology. The Stoics valued attention as their most precious resource. They understood that whatever captures your attention shapes your character. In their time, the main distractions were gossip, drama, and the opinions of others. Today, we face a much more sophisticated assault on our attention. Every notification, every scroll through social media, every mindless click is training your brain to seek instant gratification and avoid sustained focus. This is the opposite of discipline. Discipline requires the ability to focus on long-term goals despite short-term distractions. When your attention is scattered across dozens of apps and platforms, building that focus becomes nearly impossible. Digital stoicism means taking back control of your attention. Choose specific times when you'll check messages and stick to them. Create phone-free zones in your home. Delete apps that serve no purpose beyond entertainment. Replace mindless scrolling with deliberate learning. The goal isn't to become a hermit. It's to ensure that your technology serves your goals rather than undermining them. This exercise requires constant vigilance because technology companies spend billions of dollars trying to capture and hold your attention. But when you successfully create boundaries, you'll notice your ability to focus improving rapidly. Tasks that once felt overwhelming become manageable. Goals that seemed impossible start feeling achievable. This is what happens when your attention becomes a tool you control rather than something that controls you. Controls you. The fifth exercise is called the obstacle inventory, and it transforms how you view every challenge in your life. Instead of seeing problems as things that happen to you, you start seeing them as training equipment delivered directly to your door. The Stoics had a revolutionary perspective on difficulties. They didn't just tolerate them or try to push through them. They welcomed them as opportunities to practice virtue and build strength. Marcus Aurelius faced plague, war, betrayal, and the constant pressure of ruling an empire. Instead of complaining about these challenges, he wrote that the impediment to action advances action, and what stands in the way becomes the way. This wasn't just positive thinking, this was a fundamental reframing of what obstacles actually are. They're not roadblocks. They're the path itself. Here's how to practice the obstacle inventory. Every evening, write down the 3 biggest challenges you faced that day. Maybe it was a difficult conversation with your boss. Maybe it was fighting the urge to skip your workout. Maybe it was dealing with unexpected problems in your business. For each obstacle, ask yourself what virtue it allowed you to practice. Did the difficult conversation teach you patience? Did resisting the urge to skip exercise build your self-discipline? Did solving unexpected problems develop your creativity and resilience? This practice rewires your brain to see challenges as gifts rather than burdens. When you consistently look for the training opportunity in every obstacle, you start approaching difficulties with curiosity instead of dread. You begin to understand that every problem is actually strengthening a specific mental muscle. The more obstacles you face, the stronger you become. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid problems, which means they never develop the strength to handle bigger challenges. But when you embrace the obstacle inventory, you start seeking out difficulties because you know they're making you more capable. This shift in perspective is absolutely essential for unbreakable discipline because discipline is built through facing resistance, not avoiding it. The sixth exercise is negative visualization, and it might sound dark at first, but it's actually one of the most powerful practices for building gratitude and resilience. Once a week, spend 10 minutes imagining that you've lost something important to you. Your health, your home, your relationships, your career. The goal isn't to become pessimistic or anxious. It's to appreciate what you have while you have it and to mentally prepare for life's inevitable changes. The Stoics understood that attachment to outcomes creates suffering. When you expect things to remain the same forever, you become fragile. You start taking your blessings for granted. You become devastated when change inevitably comes, but when you regularly contemplate loss, you develop what they called preferred indifference. You can enjoy good things without being dependent on them for your peace of mind. Seneca practiced this by imagining he had lost his wealth, his status, even his life. This wasn't morbid thinking, it was mental preparation. He wanted to know that he could be happy regardless of external circumstances. This knowledge made him incredibly resilient and grateful for each day he had. When you practice negative visualization, you develop the same strength. Start by imagining you've lost your phone for a week. How would you adapt? What would you focus on instead? Then imagine losing your job. What skills would you rely on? How would you rebuild? The key is not to dwell on these scenarios or become anxious about them. Instead, use them to appreciate what you currently have and to build confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes. This exercise builds emotional resilience by removing the element of shock from potential losses. When you've already mentally rehearsed various challenges, you respond to them with calm preparation rather than panic. This mental preparation is crucial for maintaining discipline during difficult times because discipline requires clear thinking, and clear thinking is impossible when you're overwhelmed by unexpected change. The seventh exercise is called the view from above, and it's designed to give you perspective when emotions threaten to derail your discipline. When you're angry, frustrated, overwhelmed, or tempted to quit, you imagine yourself rising above your current situation. Picture yourself floating up until you can see your entire city, then your country, then the whole planet. From this cosmic perspective, ask yourself how much your current problem will matter in 10 years. Marcus Aurelius regularly practiced this mental exercise. When dealing with the stress of ruling an empire, he would remind himself that he was just one person on one planet in an infinite universe. This wasn't meant to make him feel insignificant. It was meant to help him maintain perspective and focus on what truly mattered. Most of the things we get upset about are trivial when viewed from a broader perspective. The view from above helps you separate genuine problems from temporary inconveniences. It allows you to respond to situations based on their actual importance rather than your emotional reaction in the moment. When someone cuts you off in traffic, the view from above reminds you that this interaction will be completely forgotten within hours. When you face a career setback, this perspective helps you see it as one chapter in a much longer story. This exercise is particularly powerful for maintaining discipline during emotional storms. When you feel like giving up on your goals, the view from above reminds you why those goals matter in the bigger picture of your life. When you're tempted to make decisions based on temporary feelings, this perspective helps you choose based on long-term values instead. The eighth exercise is the discipline of action, and it's about developing the ability to do what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. The Stoics understood that emotions are temporary visitors, but actions create lasting results. They practiced taking right action even when they didn't feel motivated, inspired, or confident. This is perhaps the most practical exercise for building unbreakable discipline. Every day, identify one important task that you don't want to do. Maybe it's having a difficult conversation. Maybe it's working on a challenging project. Maybe it's exercising when you'd rather rest. Then do that task first before you do anything else. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just act. This practice trains you to separate action from emotion. Most people believe they need to feel a certain way before they can act disciplined. They wait to feel motivated before they start exercising. They wait to feel confident before they take risks. They wait to feel inspired before they create something. But the Stoics knew that action creates feeling, not the other way around. When you consistently take right action regardless of your emotional state, you develop what I call emotional independence. Your behavior becomes guided by your principles and goals rather than your momentary feelings. This is the essence of discipline. It's not about feeling strong all the time. It's about acting strong even when you feel weak. The ninth exercise is philosophical journaling, and it's different from regular journaling because it focuses specifically on your character development and decision-making patterns. Every morning, write down one principle you want to practice that day. Every evening, write about how well you lived up to that principle and what you learned in the process. This isn't about tracking your productivity or listing your accomplishments. It's about examining your character and identifying areas for growth. The Stoics believed that the quality of your life depends entirely on the quality of your character. And character can only be developed through conscious effort and honest self-reflection. When you engage in philosophical journaling, you're not just documenting events. You're analyzing your responses to those events and identifying patterns that either support or undermine your goals. Maybe you notice that you consistently lose discipline when you're stressed. Maybe you discover that certain environments make it easier to maintain your principles. Maybe you realize that specific thoughts trigger behaviors you want to change. The key is to write with brutal honesty. Don't try to make yourself look good on paper. Instead, treat your journal like a laboratory where you're studying the most fascinating subject in the world: your own mind. When you document your struggles without judgment, you create the foundation for genuine improvement. When you celebrate your victories without ego, you reinforce the behaviors that serve you. This practice develops what the Stoics called self-knowledge, which they considered the beginning of all wisdom. You cannot change what you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot improve what you don't understand. Philosophical journaling gives you clear data about your character, your triggers, and your progress. Over time, this awareness becomes automatic, helping you make better choices in real time. Write about moments when you acted according to your values despite difficulty. Document times when you chose the easy path instead of the right path. Analyze what thoughts led to disciplined action and what thoughts led to giving up. This isn't about perfect execution. It's about conscious development of your character through deliberate practice and honest reflection. The 10th and final exercise is called the Inner Citadel, and it's the culmination of everything we've discussed. The inner citadel is a mental fortress that nothing external can penetrate. It's the unshakable core of your being that remains calm regardless of what storms rage around you. Building this inner fortress requires daily practice of all the previous exercises, but it also requires understanding a fundamental truth about human nature. You are not your circumstances, you are not your emotions, you are not even your thoughts. You are the awareness that observes all of these things. When you truly understand this distinction, you realize that nothing external can actually harm your essential self. Problems can affect your body, your possessions, your reputation, but they cannot touch the core of who you are unless you allow them to. The inner citadel is built through what the Stoics called the discipline of assent. This means carefully examining every thought and emotion before accepting it as truth. When anger arises, you don't automatically believe you should be angry. When fear appears, you don't assume the fear is justified. When desire pulls you toward instant gratification, you don't blindly follow that impulse. Instead, you pause, you observe, you choose. This pause between stimulus and response is where your freedom lives. It's where discipline is born. Most people live their entire lives as prisoners of their automatic reactions. They feel angry, so they act angry. They feel tired, so they quit. They feel overwhelmed, so they avoid responsibility. But when you build an inner citadel, you break free from this automatic programming. Here's how to practice building your inner citadel. Throughout the day, especially during challenging moments, pause and ask yourself 3 questions. What am I thinking right now? What am I feeling right now? What would my highest self choose to do in this situation? This creates space between your automatic reactions and your conscious responses. In that space, you have the power to choose who you want to be. The inner citadel doesn't mean becoming emotionless or detached from life. It means developing the ability to experience emotions without being controlled by them. You can feel anger without acting angry. You can feel fear without being paralyzed. You can feel temptation without being derailed. This is true emotional mastery, and it's the foundation of unbreakable discipline. When your inner citadel is strong, external circumstances lose their power to dictate your behavior. Traffic jams don't ruin your mood. Criticism doesn't shake your confidence. Setbacks don't derail your progress. You move through life with the kind of calm strength that others find magnetic and mysterious. You become someone who can be counted on, someone who doesn't break under pressure, someone who gets stronger through adversity. These 10 exercises work together like a complete training system for your mind. The morning reflection sets your intention. Voluntary discomfort builds your resilience. The evening review develops your awareness. Digital stoicism protects your attention. The obstacle inventory reframes your challenges. Negative visualization builds gratitude and preparation. The view from above provides perspective. The discipline of action creates emotional independence. Philosophical journaling tracks your growth. And the inner citadel integrates everything into unshakable inner strength. But here's what you need to understand about implementing these practices. You don't need to master all 10 exercises immediately. In fact, trying to do everything at once is a recipe for burnout and failure. Instead, choose one exercise that resonates most strongly with you and commit to practicing it for 30 days. When that practice becomes natural and automatic, add another one. Building discipline is like building physical strength. You start with manageable weights and gradually increase the load as you get stronger. The most important thing is consistency rather than perfection. It's better to do one exercise imperfectly every day than to do all 10 exercises perfectly once a week. The Stoics understood that character is built through daily habits, not through occasional heroic efforts. Small, consistent actions compound into extraordinary results over time. Remember that these exercises are not just techniques to improve your productivity or achieve your goals. They are tools for becoming the kind of person you genuinely respect. When you practice these disciplines consistently, you develop integrity, resilience, wisdom, and inner peace. You become someone who can be trusted with important responsibilities. You become someone who lifts others up rather than dragging them down. You become someone who makes the world a little bit better just by being in it. The ancient Stoics faced challenges that would break most modern people. Wars, plagues, exile, slavery, political persecution. Yet they maintained their principles and their peace of mind through practices like these. If these exercises could help them thrive during the collapse of empires, they can certainly help you handle the challenges of modern life. Your discipline is not just about you. Every time you choose the difficult right over the easy wrong, you inspire others to do the same. Every time you maintain your principles under pressure, you give others permission to do likewise. Every time you respond to adversity with grace rather than bitterness, you make the world a little more beautiful. The path of unbreakable discipline is not easy, but it is simple. Choose one exercise, practice it daily. Add another when you're ready. Trust the process. The Stoics spent centuries refining these practices because they work. Not sometimes, not for some people. They work consistently for anyone willing to put in the effort. Willing to put in the effort. The question isn't whether you can build unbreakable discipline. The question is whether you're willing to start today. Right now, as you're listening to these words, you have a choice. You can continue living the way you've always lived, letting circumstances control your emotions and impulses dictate your actions. Or you can begin the most important training of your life. Think about where you'll be 1 year from now if you implement these practices consistently. Picture yourself waking up with complete clarity about your purpose. Imagine facing every challenge with calm confidence because you've trained for exactly these moments. Visualize the respect you'll have for yourself when you become someone who always follows through. Someone who never breaks promises to themselves. Someone who grows stronger through every difficulty. Now think about where you'll be if you don't change anything. If you continue scrolling through life, reacting instead of responding. hoping motivation will strike rather than building the systems that create lasting change. The gap between these two futures is measured entirely in daily choices. Small decisions compound into life-altering results. Here's what most people don't understand about discipline. They think it's about grinding through misery, forcing yourself to do things you hate, living a life of constant restriction and sacrifice. That's not discipline, that's self-punishment. True discipline is freedom. It's the freedom to choose your response instead of being controlled by your reactions. It's the freedom to pursue long-term fulfillment instead of being trapped by short-term impulses. It's the freedom to become who you're meant to be instead of remaining stuck as who you've always been. When you practice these Stoic exercises consistently, something remarkable happens. The things that used to overwhelm you start feeling manageable. The temptations that used to derail you lose their power. The setbacks that used to devastate you become stepping stones. You don't just develop discipline, you develop a completely different relationship with yourself and your potential. But here's the challenge. Your brain will resist this transformation. It's designed to keep you safe, which means keeping you the same. When you start practicing voluntary discomfort, your mind will create 1,000 excuses. When you begin examining your evening choices honestly, your ego will try to justify every mistake. When you attempt to build your inner citadel, your emotions will test its walls relentlessly. This resistance is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's proof that you're doing something important. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're literally rewiring your neural pathways. You're teaching your brain that you are someone who follows through. Someone who can be trusted with important goals. Someone who gets stronger through challenges rather than weaker. The Stoics had a beautiful concept they called preferred indifference. These are things that are naturally preferable but don't determine your happiness or your character. Health is preferable to sickness. Wealth is preferable to poverty. Success is preferable to failure, but none of these external circumstances can make you a better or worse person. Only your responses to these circumstances shape your character. This understanding is liberating because it means you can pursue ambitious goals without being attached to specific outcomes. You can work towards success while knowing that your worth doesn't depend on achieving it. You can face failure without being devastated because you understand that failure teaches lessons that success never can. You can enjoy good times without clinging to them and endure difficult times without being crushed by them. This is what unbreakable discipline actually looks like. It's not rigid adherence to rules. It's flexible strength that adapts to any situation while maintaining core principles. It's the ability to be fully engaged with life while remaining detached from outcomes you cannot control. It's pursuing excellence in everything you do while finding peace regardless of external results. The ancient Stoics were some of history's most accomplished people precisely because they understood this paradox. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while maintaining his philosophical practice. Seneca built enormous wealth while teaching about the unimportance of money. Epictetus transformed suffering into wisdom and slavery into freedom. They achieved extraordinary external success by focusing primarily on internal development. Your journey begins with a single step, but that step must be taken today. Choose one of these 10 exercises. Commit to practicing it for the next 30 days. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for next month. Don't wait until your life gets easier or you feel more motivated. Those conditions will never arrive. The perfect time to start building discipline is always right now. Track your progress not through perfect execution but through consistent effort. Some days you'll practice beautifully. Other days you'll struggle. Both outcomes are part of the process. What matters is showing up daily, learning from every experience, and gradually building the mental strength that nothing can shake. Remember that you're not just developing personal discipline. You're joining a tradition that stretches back over 2 millennia. You're connecting with the wisdom of people who faced unimaginable challenges and emerged stronger. You're becoming part of something larger than yourself, something that has helped countless individuals transform their lives and contribute meaningfully to the world. The path of the Stoic is not for everyone. It requires honesty about your weaknesses, commitment to daily practice, and the courage to face reality without illusions. It demands that you take full responsibility for your life while accepting that you cannot control most of what happens to you. It asks you to find strength in difficulty and peace in uncertainty. But for those willing to walk this path, the rewards are beyond measure. You develop the kind of character that inspires others. You build the kind of resilience that turns obstacles into opportunities. You cultivate the kind of wisdom that brings deep satisfaction regardless of external circumstances. You become the kind of person you would choose to follow, to trust, to stand beside during difficult times. The choice is yours. You can continue drifting through life, hoping things will somehow get better on their own. Or you can begin the deliberate practice of building unbreakable discipline. You can start training your mind like the ancient warriors trained their bodies. You can develop the kind of inner strength that makes you genuinely unstoppable. These exercises are waiting for you. The wisdom is proven, the path is clear. The only question remaining is whether you're ready to begin. Because once you start this journey, once you taste what it feels like to have genuine control over your responses and your choices, you'll never want to go back to living at the mercy of circumstances and emotions. The Stoics believed that every human being has the potential for greatness, not in terms of fame or fortune, but in terms of character and virtue. They believed that through disciplined practice and honest self-examination, anyone can develop the kind of inner strength that makes them truly free. They proved this through their own lives, facing every challenge with grace and emerging from every trial with greater wisdom. Now it's your turn. Your chance to discover what you're truly capable of when you stop making excuses and start making progress. Your opportunity to build something that no external force can take away from you. Your moment to begin the transformation that will echo through every area of your life for years to come. The ancient wisdom is calling. The practices are ready. The only thing missing is your commitment to begin. So take that first step. Choose your exercise, start your training, and discover what it truly means to possess unbreakable discipline in a world that desperately needs people who cannot be shaken, cannot be broken, and will never surrender their principles for temporary comfort. Your strongest self is waiting. The question is not whether you can reach that person. The question is whether you will choose to begin the journey today. The transformation that awaits you through these 10 Stoic exercises is not just about becoming more disciplined. It's about becoming unbreakable. When you wake up tomorrow morning, you have a choice that will echo through every moment of your life. You can continue living as you always have, letting circumstances control your emotions and impulses dictate your actions. Or you can begin the most important training of your existence. These practices have stood the test of time because they work. They transformed slaves into teachers, politicians into philosophers, and ordinary people into legends. They will transform you too, but only if you're willing to start. Not next week, not when you feel ready, not when life gets easier. Today, right now, in this moment. Choose one exercise that resonates most deeply with you. Commit to practicing it for 30 days. Watch as your relationship with difficulty completely changes. Notice how challenges that once overwhelmed you become opportunities to grow stronger. Feel what it's like when your actions flow from your principles rather than your emotions. Remember that every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're not just changing yourself. You're inspiring everyone around you to reach higher. You're proving that human beings can rise above their circumstances and become who they're meant to be. The ancient Stoics faced the collapse of empires, yet they remained unshaken. If their practices could carry them through those storms, they can certainly carry you through yours. Your strongest self is waiting. The only question is whether you're ready to begin the journey to meet them.